okay? But ladies and gentlemen, I always want to say it's truly a pleasure taking the topic that has been on your mind, giving me an opportunity to expound upon it in a way that can address your concerns and also share information with us. So here we are. We've come upon the hour. Now I say continue to hold on because we have other shows coming up. We have Dr. Samari Swagger coming up. We have Kevin Hezeki coming up today. And these young brothers, what they're doing is that they are bringing you the political cooler, that they are bringing you the pendulum, that they are bringing you information so that you too can be sound when it comes to your political power, when it comes to your impact on the community, and when it comes to your financial stewardship. Ladies and gentlemen, in your walk of life, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind forever be at your back. May the sun shine upon you with this warmth, and may the rain fall upon you ever so gently. Until the next time when we can cross each other's path, may the God of heaven hold you in the hollow of his hand. I am Tyrone T.S. Mitchell. This has been Power Over Tomorrow. Source Nation, Facebook Live, YouTube, family, and friends. Be well, be blessed, and be your best. We'll be back to Source Radio Network after this commercial break.
Mic check 1 2.
This program is brought to you by Big Birds of Film, Revolution Films, Got Care Foundation, and Urban Grandstand. With me is T.S. Mitchell, the independent and trusted financial advisor. Here's the situation, T.S. Someone has just lost their job and they are concerned about their retirement plan. How can you help them? Well, first, if at all possible, please do not take a cash distribution. The taxes and penalties can make that money the most expensive money you will ever use. At T.S. Mitchell Financial, we have over 20 years experience helping people with retirement and 401k plans. So you truly help people. Yes, our goal is to provide sound financial information for your family, your future, and your finances. Appointments are available at 1201 Hampton Street, downtown Columbia, online at tsmitchell.com and 803-744-3417. That's 803-744-3417. Security number for Secure Financial Specialist. LLC, never been running out of these advisory. Security investment advisors, LLC, whichever entity from the Secretary.
Sports Nation, join us now for the Political Corner with your host, Kevin Hezeki, as he brings you the latest news in the area of politics. Tune in as Kevin discusses thought-provoking topics and shares his perspective on how we can move forward. Sports Nation, here is your host, Kevin Hezeki.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. Good evening, Source Nation. You're listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host, Kevin Hezeki. And tonight, we're going to have an amazing show for you tonight. I'm just trying to get some things adjusted here. So just bear with me for a moment as I get it together, get things ready. But tonight, here on the Political Corner, we will be discussing pretty much trending topics here in our political world that's been going on the last couple of days. So once again, if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host, Kevin Hezeki. And I'd like to thank our sponsors who have made this show possible, and they are Zulina Health and Wellness, Zulina Health, Wellness and Fitness. We have Paper to Film Productions, Revolution Mills, and Renovations. And as I said a little bit ago, we're going to have an amazing show for you. I will be discussing the trending topics that are going on in the political world this week. So Source Nation, we're going to take a quick break. And then on the other side, I will come back to discuss our trending topics that are going on today in this political arena. So Source Nation, stay tuned.
Nation, stay tuned. You're listening live to the Political Corner with your host, Kevin Hezeki. Source Radio Network is just one of the many platforms that is used to fulfill the dreams of our listeners and create a purpose that will impact the lives of our communities, cities, and the world. It is often said that great things will happen when a group of driven people work together to accomplish one goal. We are giving people the opportunity to have a voice, translate words that haven't been heard, and paint pictures that no one can see. Source Radio Network is fueling your life's purpose. How can you listen? www.blogtalkradio.com/Source Radio.
Sure, humans can be a little weird at times, but take it from me, I'm a dog. And a person is about the best thing that can happen to a shelter pet. So if you want to learn how you can be that person, get down to your local pet shelter or visit the shelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Shout out my brother Mercy. SODMGPE. Baby Blue. KK, we in the building.
Welcome back, Source Nation. Welcome back. You're listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host, Kevin Hezeki. And like I said, tonight we're going to be discussing trending topics here in the political arena that's been going on this week. But first, I would like to say the song you just heard was Boom by K Mars. And you can check K Mars out on SoundCloud. You can check it out on iTunes. You can check them out on Spotify. All you got to do is just type in K Mars and he'll pop up. And also, K Mars is with a group called Fourth Ave. So be on the lookout for Fourth Ave. They got a 16-city tour they're going to get ready to start up in September. So check K Mars out. You got a lot of things going on. All right. So, Source Nation. I'm Kevin Hezeki, and tonight we're discussing trending news topics that are going on in this political arena. And the first one I want to touch bases on is our HUD Secretary, Ben Carson. Now, Ben Carson today unveiled a major overhaul of the rental housing system. Now, Ben Carson wants the poor to pay more rent, and it has to do with work assistance. So, proposing to increase the share of rent that low-income households must pay before receiving assistance, and allowing public housing authorities to impose work requirements. Now, the proposal to reshape the way HUD helps 4.5 million people meet their rent is part of a broader Trump administration push to link anti-poverty programs to employment. Now, Ben Carson, who often refers to his own upfront nothing life story as a parable for the poor, and said last year that poverty is a state of mind. And I agree. I think poverty is a state of mind because you don't have to be poor. But let's get on to the topic. That's something else we're discussing. But he was saying poverty is a state of mind, has long called on HUD to focus on helping people get off assistance rather than expanding the benefits it provides. So the current system, Carson said on a conference call with reporters, creates perverse incentives, including discouraging these families from earning more income and being self-sufficient. Now, rental assistance recipients currently spend about 30% of their adjusted income on housing, with subsidized picking up the rest. Now, under the proposed HUD is sending to Congress, recipients would have to contribute 35% of their gross income or 35% of their income from working 15 hours a week at the federal minimum wage. Now, public housing agencies and owners in the case of project-based assistance would be able to establish minimum work requirements for recipients, excluding people over the age of 65 and the disabled. Now, meanwhile, tenants' income would be verified less frequently and once every 3 years instead of annually, to encourage renters to increase their income without adversely impacting assistance for up to 3 years, Carson said. Now, 3 rental assistance programs comprise about 80% of the total HUD appropriations. Now, Section 8 tenant-based rental assistance, including the Section 8 housing choice vouchers, Section 8 project-based rental assistance, and public housing. Now, under the proposal, some of the poorest tenants would see their rent triple. Wow, they will see their rent triple. Now, every non-elderly or non-disabled household would have to pay a minimum of $150 a month in rent. Right now, the minimum amount for the Section 8 housing choice voucher program in public housing is $50. Now, one of the reasons the administration has given for overhauling the assistance is that as rental costs continue to rise, more and more of HUD's budget is eating up helping the same number of families. Now, each year, it takes more money, millions of dollars more, to serve the same number of households. Now, Carson said on the call, it's widely accepted that only 1 in 4 families who need and actually qualify for assistance actually receive it. It's clear that from a budget perspective and from a human point of view, the current system is unsustainable. Now, a 2013 study by Harvard Joint Center for Housing Studies found that only 24% of eligible households receive assistance. Yet housing advocates condone that Carson plan, saying it would add to the burdens of the poor. Now, despite claims that these harmful proposals will increase self-sufficiently, rent hikes, time limits, and arbitrary work requirements will only leave more people without stable housing, making it harder for them to climb the economic ladder. Now, the president and CEO of the National Low-Income Housing Coalition said this in an email statement, that it will make it that this is going to leave more people without stable housing and making it harder for them to climb the economic ladder. Now, proposing these changes under the guise of saving the government money just months after giving massive tax break to wealthy people and corporations is the height of cruel hypocrisy. You see what I'm saying? So to be sure, the chances that the Congress would take up and pass the measure in this 6 month left before the midterm elections are slim. Now, lawmakers so far have rejected the Trump administration's efforts to cut HUD funding. Now, the fiscal year 2018 includes a nearly 10% boost to the department budget, including increasing funding for programs the White House sought to cut. Now, let me just grab you some water for a minute. If you're just tuning in, you're listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host, Kevin Hezeki. And our topic of discussion is Carson wants the poor to pay more rent and work assistance. So pretty much what he's saying is that right now, the Section 8 housing is paying $50 a month. So Carson is trying to get it to where they're going to be paying $150 a month. And they're pretty much saying that this is going to make it real hard for those low-income families to actually try to achieve this. But this is all a part of trying to save the government money after we just, gave tax breaks to the last week to all these wealthy individuals. But moving right along, we'll keep going into this. Now, to be sure, the chances that Congress will take up and pass the measure in the 6 months left before the midterm elections are slim. Lawmakers so far have rejected the Trump's administration efforts to cut HUD funding. The fiscal year 2018 included a nearly 10% boost to the department's budget, including increased funding for programs the White House sought to cut. Now, still, the overhaul announced today, a joint project with the White House Budget Office, is the latest in the series of Trump administration moves to rein in anti-poverty programs. Now, President Trump this month signed an executive order directing federal agencies to do everything within their authority to empower individuals by providing opportunities for work, including by investing in federal programs that are effective at moving people into the workforce and out of poverty. Now, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, meanwhile, this year started allowing states to mandate employment for certain Medicaid recipients, and House Republicans included a food stamp work requirement in a package of proposal for the 2018 Farm Bill this month. Now, let's roll back through this and I'm gonna break it down to you as far as what's going on here. Now, like I said, what is happening is Carson pretty much is wanting to propose a bill that will pretty much bring up the monthly payments of Section 8. So right now, people are paying $50 Section 8. If this bill is passed, if Carson can get this approved, then people will be paying $150. But their main thing, what they're trying to do is say the government and Carson and all them feel if they were to do this, they pretty much feel that by raising this rent for the poor to pay more, that it will make them want to go out and work even harder. Now, I'm not going to be opposed to that. I will say this, that one, you got to take in consideration what people have going on in their life, as far as who are they taking care of. Like everybody's family is different, so a lot of people, sometimes going up on stuff and all of that can be a problem because people are pretty much set or can only do so much themselves, especially if people have a disability. They only can go so far as to make money. But so I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. I think this is a bad thing. But in a way, I'm sort of on each side of it, because it can. I mean, I feel like if it does go up, it can force, it can force someone to say, hey, all right, I got to get out here. I got to get some extra hours, or I got to find another job because now my rent is gone up. And usually I feel like when you get stuck in a certain payment grade and you have this, it's like $50 a month, that, oh, I got that, you ain't gonna do too much because hey, that's only $50. I can get that done, But if it goes up and then it's tapping into that little side money that you always be using, then you're gonna be like, all right, this ain't right. I gotta really get up out of here, and I gotta get up and find me another job, or I gotta get some more hours to work, so I can pay this. Rent. But anyway, if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host Kevin Hezeki, and tonight we're discussing trending topics, and that was one of our topics. Carson was wanting, he wants the poor to pay more rent and work assistance. All right, so now our next topic, what I wanted to discuss, is the Republican support for Jackson collapse. Now, the VA nominee needs every GOP senator to back him. So far, few are. So with me being a veteran, I try to stay on top of what's going on with the VA, and I deal with the VA too on a constant, almost daily basis. But anyway, just so I'm trying to, I'm doing my best to stay in the loop of what's going on with this VA nominee, because the last one, I think he got quit or got fired. Either way it goes, they you know how Trump is. Some saying they quit, he's saying they fired, this and this and that. It's all been a game. But for Senate Republicans, the question of the day is not if, but when President Donald Trump pulls the plug on Ronnie Jackson. Now, GOP supported the Veterans Affairs nominee, had catered in the face of allegations of misconduct as White House physicians who already face serious doubt over the lack of management experience. Now, at this point, it would have taken a miraculous comeback by Jackson to survive at least 2 more weeks of scrutiny and growing discomfort among Republican senators over his nomination. Now, Senator McClain, he's a Republican in Arizona, after the parties control 50 seats, meaning that only one Republican in opposition can derail Jackson's nomination if Democrats unite in opposition to him. Now, any corroboration of whistleblower accusations, from crashing a government car while drunk, to abusing his power, to prescribe pills, will be enough to publicly sink the nomination. So, in other words, they're pretty much saying that he lacks the experience, first and foremost, he lacks the experience, the management experience, and then on top of that, with him having he crashed the government car while drunk, and then he abused his power by taking prescribed pills. So they feel like that alone will pretty much sink him. Now, the nominations said Senator Jeff Flake, he's a Republican in Arizona, is very unlikely to go for it. All of us had questions before any of these recent allegations just on experience and qualifications, Flake said. Asked how Jackson could be confirmed, he replied, "You tell me." Now, we don't know if it's true or if it's just somebody trying to derail the nomination. Now, the allegations against Jackson, which he has denied, but if there's any sort of implication of wrongdoing, then a bunch of the Republicans said they will likely won't be supporting Jackson. But the GOP concern grows even deeper. 3 Republican senators granted autonomy, and they want the White House to withdraw the nomination immediately, calling it a self-inflicted wound that will only get worse with time. Now, Source Nation, if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to the Political Corner, and I'm your host, Kevin Hezeki, and our topic of discussion is trending topics in the political arena. And now we're talking about the VA nominee, Ronnie Jackson, and how the Senate, the Republican Party, feels he has a lack of management experience, and also with him crashing the government car while drunk and also taking prescribed pills, they feel like he is not capable of the VA position, the VA affairs nominee position. Now, I will keep on going. Now, like I said, it's 3 Republican senators that granted nomination. They want the White House to withdraw the nomination. So it's 3 Republicans that are already like, nah, we can't do this. They say it's like a self-inflicted wound, and they said that it's pretty much like, they're pretty much just, just picking at the guy or whatever. But Jackson claims he denies everything. So he says, hey, I ain't do it. Now, today, things got even worse for Jackson, according to the summaries of the interviews with nearly 24 current and former colleagues of Jackson released by Senate Democrats today. He drunkenly wrecked a government vehicle, was abusive towards underlying and improperly prescribed pills to White House staff. Now, that's what was released by the Democrats today. Now, Source Nation, if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host, Kevin Hezeki. And I think it's about time for me to take a quick break. But when we come back from the break, I will open up the phone lines. So feel free, if you would like to ask a question or make a comment, the number to dial in is 619-924-0933, and you can press option 1. Again, that's 619-924-0933. And press option 1 if you would like to ask a question or make a comment. Or if you don't want to do that, feel free to hit us up in here in the chat, in Facebook chat, or you can hit us here in our Google Hangout. And hey, I'll be glad to talk with you and ask some questions and see how you feel about what's going on in this political world. So, Source Nation, we'll be right back after this small break. All right, welcome back, Source Nation. Welcome back. You're listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host, Kevin Hezeki. And tonight we're discussing trending topics that are going on in the political arena today, or this week and last week. So far we have been discussing how hold on for a second, y'all. I think we got some technical difficulties going on here. But like I said, so far we've been discussing how Ben Carson wants poor to pay more rent. Pretty much he said the rent for Section 8 is $50 a month now. He wants to raise it to where it's $150 a month. He feels like if they can raise that, then pretty much it would make people want to go out and work harder and and get more jobs and stuff like that. So he's discussing that, hoping that he can get that handled and that will save the government money. Also, we're discussing how the VA nominee, Ronnie Jackson, is collapsing. So far, everyone, the Republicans and the Democrats pretty much don't want him in because they feel like he lacks the experience, and also that he was drunk from crashing a government car, and he also abused his power by taking prescribed pills. So they feel like, with all that being said, he's not suitable for the job. But there are 3 Republicans who are saying, hey, just throw this out. It's like a self-inflicted wound. It's only gonna get worse with time. And Jackson is denying, everything, saying that that's not true, and that, hey, he can do this job. Now, Republican senators would want to know why the administration wasn't aware of those problems in Jackson's background weeks ago, so senators and White House officials could mount an effective defense on him. And Republicans are confounded that the White House hasn't withdrawn Jackson's nomination after whistleblowers came to the Veterans Affairs Committee with the charges. Now, they should make a decision this week, said one of the Republican senators, and he hopes that they pick someone who has the management background. Now, I don't think anybody knows him. I don't know. It's not like you've got someone who's got a lot of history, who's built a lot of relationships over the years, and said this is what a second Republican senator was saying. And he said his sense is there are problems. He thinks the Republicans are going to begin communicating that to the White House. Now, even Jackson somehow survives an avalanche of bad headlines and scrutiny of the Senate investigation. His nomination will be tainted by any opposition. No Veteran Affairs Secretary has ever received a single negative vote, according to the congressional records. Now, Jackson was on Capitol Hill today making his case, meeting with Senator Tom Tillis, and vowing repeatedly that he will continue to move forward in the confirmation process. But some Republicans are uncertain Jackson will ultimately subject himself to a brutal confirmation process for a job seen as among the most difficult in government. Now, outwardly, the White House is pressing ahead, and Senate Veteran Affairs Chairman Johnny Exaction, he's a Republican in Georgia, said Jackson will get his day in committee. He did not respond to the documents released by Senator John Tester of Montana and the top Democrat on the committee. He said, I'm not going to make an editorial comment one way or the other, Axon said, of Jackson's future. I'm just not going to be unfair to the nominee or unfair to the members of the committee or unfair to the American people or the president of the United States either. He deserves a hearing, and he's going to get it. So pretty much he's saying that Jackson deserves the hearing, that they need to hear him out before they try to say, no, you can't have the job. Now, the White House press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, on Today praised Jackson's record as White House physician as impeachable and said he received more vetting than most nominees due to his high-profile posts. But she added that the White House is continuing to look at the situation. Now, Source Nation, if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host, Kevin Hezeki. And tonight we're discussing trendy topics in the political world. And one of the topics that we're talking about right now, the Republicans supporting Jackson for the VA for the VA administration. They're pretty much saying that he's unqualified, he's an wrecked car, a government car, he was drunk, and he was prescribing pills. So if you're just tuning in, I was getting a text back because, like I said, I think we were having a little technical difficulties here throughout the break. So I believe we got everything back and running well. So I just want to make sure we're good. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take another small break, and after the break, we will continue to discuss our topics. All right, Source Nation, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned. You're listening live to the Political Corner with your host, Kevin Hezeki. Hey, I'm sorry, I missed your call. So you can make the number and I'll get back with you. Thank you.
I give you all of me, I give you all my love. Every part of me, and it wasn't enough. That we wasn't equal. And you wanted the other people. And what you talk about, better to leave now. Instead of walking now, can we talk it out? Yeah, you're believing. Girl, I couldn't believe it. Girl, I just don't understand. Because I know you will be freaking my butt is maybe keep on playing. I deserve an answer, baby, that's all I'm saying. Why do you keep sending me the voicemail? Your voicemail, your voicemail. Why do you keep sending me the voicemail? Your voicemail, your voicemail. Why do you keep sending me the voicemail? That's the problem of my life. When I call my baby number, I get a voicemail this time. I don't know where we went wrong, and I don't really know what's wrong. I keep getting the doctor, and why you don't let the pain? I don't understand. Because I know you will be freaking my butt is changed. Then you keep on playing. I deserve an answer, baby, that's all I'm saying. Why do you keep sending me the voicemail? Your voicemail, your voicemail. Why do you keep sending me the voicemail? Your voicemail, your voicemail. Why do you keep sending me the voicemail? You get what I'm saying? I know I treated you wrong. You know, I'm sorry, babe. So work it out.
Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to the Political Corner with your host, Kevin Hezeki.
Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host, Kevin Hezeki. And like I said earlier, before the last break, that I was going to open up the phone line. So just in case you missed out on the number is 619-924-0933. And press option 1 to talk. And that's if you want to make a comment, you have a question, feel free to dial that number, 619-924-0933. Press option 1. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you feel about these topics here that we're discussing tonight, or even if it's something else that's going on in the political world that you want to talk about. Feel free to hit us up, or you can also hit us up in the Facebook chat, or you can hit us up here in the Google chat group as well. Now, I'm pretty sure y'all probably are like, well, why did you choose these two topics? Because there's so much other stuff we can discuss here in that's going on politically. It's so much stuff, but I chose these two topics. Because one, with the HUD topic and raising the and trying to increase the rent just so that people can go out and get jobs. You know, that's something that I'm two-sided about, first and foremost, and I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention because we all know people and have families members who are in Section 8 placements and stuff like that, and you know, and just seeing what they have to go through, and just being able to have Section 8 to help them live. Should it be raised or shouldn't it be raised? Is that a good idea for B and Carson to bring that about? You know, yeah, you know, it will make people want to say, okay, I got to get up off my tail and go out here and work a little harder. And at the same rate, too, it's also like, wow, you know, you already got people out here who are struggling, who are doing the best they can, and can really have the means to even get more hours or get another job because of family they have to take care of, or being that they're going through something. So, you know, I chose that topic. I chose that one topic is for us to think about and say, hey, okay, what do you feel about that? And then the reason why I chose the one with Jackson, the VA administration nominee, is because I'm a veteran and I deal with the VA on a daily basis. And, you know, and I see a lot of things that are going on here in this VA, and you know, and I have my doubts and my questions and stuff about, and we do need someone who is capable and has the knowledge and the management skills to actually run and assist these VAs, because there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes at the VA, but you have to be there constantly like me to be able to see what's going on and hear what's going on. and stuff like that. So that's why I'm so in tune with this topic, dealing with Jackson. Now I'll continue to touch a little bit more on this with Jackson, with the VA affairs. So yet the Senate, no one is predicting Jackson will be confirmed, and no Republican has stepped up in his defense. It's a grim outlook considering that a number of senior Republicans railed around the last embattled cabinet nominee, Andy Poser, who later dropped out. Now, it doesn't do anybody any good to have it hanging out there for a long time. So I hope that the concerns will be addressed quickly, and I think that it would be best for everyone involved, said a majority Senator Whip John, Majority Whip John Cornyn. He's a Republican of Texas who had defended Poster. So once again, y'all, so pretty much what's going on with this is that Jackson is, they said that they feel he's not capable of the position because he lacks the management experience. He also was careless when he wrecked, and he was driving drunk. He was driving a government car, and he wrecked it while drunk. And also he was prescribing pills, taking prescribed pills as well. So they feel like he's really not a great candidate for the position. Now, as Jackson nominees linger, committee will continue stiffening through the allegations against him. The panel has asked for the 12 years worth of records, and they have not yet been received. Now, in the meantime, the scrutiny of Jackson is bound to intensify. See, this is getting interesting, y'all. So that's why I'm trying to stay on top of it, because I really feel like they really need to get these VAs in order. We need someone who can really get in there and run these VAs correctly. Now, a Senate Bill Cassidy said, "I've gotten to find out the facts. It can be death by harsh hearsay." He's a member of the VA committee, but these are important allegations, so you got to figure it out. So they're saying is that they pretty much, I think everybody pretty much is want to give him a chance to actually state his case. But honestly, I think he still would be a good one, because you already know, they see this guy's history as far as what he's done. But hey, you know, everyone makes mistakes, and it could just be a mistake that he made. And who knows, this guy could probably get in these VAs and really make these VAs great, because the VAs aren't great. I'll tell y'all right there, they are. But anyway, if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to the Political Corner. I'm your host, Kevin Hezeki. And tonight we've been discussing trending topics here in this political arena. Like I said, the phone lines are open, 619-924-0933. Press option 1, or you can hit us up on Facebook, or hit us up here in the Google chat. So pretty much, Source Nation fam, we have been discussing how Ben Carson wants the poor to pay more money, and we've been discussing how Jackson nomination is very, very, it's hanging over his head, and it looks like it's going to crash for him. So Source Nation, I want y'all to start checking into these two and following these two topics here, because they are very important. They really are very important. You know, I'm pretty sure I would love to do a poll with some of y'all to see who agrees with Ben Carson. Should it be raised? Is it a smart move for them to raise the HUD home and the Section 8 rent, just so people can go out here and work more and get more jobs? Or is that something that, you know, hey, that's being stingy, and you know how the White House is, they always trying to make things better for the elite. So it would be nice to hear from you all about that. Now, I think it's about time for me to start wrapping up. we're getting ready to run out of time. But before I leave, you know, I got to thank our sponsors again, and they are Meet My Type Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar, Grandstand Digital, and New Covenant Praise Worship Center. And if you have a business and you're looking to get your business advertised and want to get your business heard and out and would like Source Nation to put your business out in the streets, just give us a call here at Source Nation. Hit us up at Source Nation, and we'll be glad to get you set up with a sponsorship package. So now, y'all know before I leave, I got to give you some type of something to make you think. So let me see what I got for you today. I know I got something for you because let me see. Let's see here. Just give me a second. Let me pull it up. Let's see. Maybe this is it here. All right, y'all. This phone be tripping too. Tell y'all, man, this stuff is like electronic stuff, man. It got a mind of its own. It really does. It really does. All right, here we go. Now understand that God gives us challenges because He knows we can handle it. It was necessary for your growth and power through and win again. So understand that when we have challenges, God knows that we can handle it. So whatever challenge that you're facing, understand God gave you that challenge because God knew you could handle it. So all you have to do is put your power through and win again. So accept that challenge that God is giving you and pick it up, do what you have to do with it, and throw it away. And always remember, even when you don't believe in you, God believes in you. So stay up. Stay up. So Source Nation, I'm Kevin Hezeki. You can check me out on Facebook at Kevin Hezeki, Kevin Hezeki Asar. You can also check me out on Instagram at Hezeki Asar. You can also check me out at the Global Agenda show. That's on Facebook. It's the Global Agenda show. Also on Twitter at the Global Agenda _007. So feel free to look me up there. And until next time, everyone stay blessed. And I will be talking with you all next week. And stay tuned. Stay tuned to another amazing show. We have The Pendulum with Dr. Samori Swagger. And please stay tuned and check that show out. He gives you some great wisdom and knowledge. So Source Nation, I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all next week. Y'all have a great rest of the week and weekend. All right? Peace.